how's it going, Nintendudes? This is Ryan, Nintendo Freak here, back again with another video. There's not a trailer out right now, so it's not a trailer reaction. So we're here face to face. You're here with me right now, so we're talking about the future, some stuff that are coming out in the future. Because we talked about Sonic, a little bit of Sonic Mania, we talked about a little bit of Sonic Forces. So now I want to talk about something else that's going to be coming out in the future. So we're talking about the SNES Classic Edition. Yeah, we all know the Super Nintendo, right? It is the remake of the Super Nintendo. I actually kind of figured that one day it was going to happen because the NES came out a year ago and it was the most popular thing ever. Actually, I did not expect it to come out a year after because the NES was so popular. I actually expected the SNES to come out maybe like next year. I expected it to come out in 2018, not 2017. But a lot of people did realize that it was going to happen, that Nintendo was going to make a sequel. So far, what it looks like from the photo, you get two controllers, which is pretty good because with the NES Classic Edition that came out last year, you only got one controller, and then with the money that you had to pay $10 for another controller. But then like with some other ones for some third-party companies, you had to pay like $14 for a controller, and then you had to pay $9.99 and like $10 for an extension, and then like there's another third-party controller that was a wireless controller, and that was $24. So Nintendo kind of realized at that point to where I think that's pretty cool that they give you two controllers, because consoles always come with two controllers, and I think that's what it should be. And also it looks like that it's going to be a little bit bigger than the NES. Which is true. I've seen photos of the SNES and also some people who saw the first look at it at Comic-Con. With the SNES, it does fit the palm of your hand, but like take a look at this phone case, for example. See, when you hold this phone case, it fits in your hand, but sometimes you hold it like this with a grip. So you can see that people kind of hold it like this, to where it's not like, it doesn't really exactly fit in the palm of your hand, but it's a little bit bigger. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? And also there's going to be 21 games, not 30. So they're going to be releasing 20 games for the console that was released, but they have one game that they're going to be releasing that wasn't released for the Super Nintendo, that they're deciding to release it for the Super Nintendo Classic Edition because it was never been done before. And the game that they're going to be releasing with the console is going to be Star Fox 2. I know some Nintendo guys out there, but my Nintendudes, I know that you guys probably know about it. Star Fox 2, basically what that was supposed to be was that it was supposed to be a sequel to Star Fox that Star Fox originally was released for the Super Nintendo. And somewhere in the late 1990s, they were going to release Star Fox 2 that was supposed to come out for the sequel of Star Fox 1. But at that time, they were going to release the N64. So at that time they were going to release the N64, but at that time they couldn't release the Star Fox 2 because they were focusing on making the N64, and also they were working on Star Fox for the N64. So a lot of people are probably wondering, all my friends who are Nintendo fans, and also you Nintendudes, some of you guys probably don't know, how much is this going to cost? It's going to be $80, around $80. So that's pretty reasonable price. The NES was $60, but also with all the extra stuff they had to buy with it was over $100. So you kind of like bundled that up together. And also, but this is a reasonable price, around $80, because it's not like a real console. A real console would be like $200 or $300. The Nintendo Switch was like $300. But sometimes certain consoles are $200. But when it comes in a bundle, it's like $400. This was a reasonable price for $80 for a little console that has like 21 games in it. So that is really reasonable. So that is a pretty damn good job. So that is really cool that they said that they're going to make more copies for it, because then more people can get their hands on it. Because when Nintendo released the NES, I don't know if they were really thinking about it, but I think they were just going to release it for the holiday season. But so a little bit after the holiday season, they did release a few more that people can get their hands on. But during Christmas time, it was released. They only certain places had certain amount of like consoles. Like at my local GameStop, I got the NES Classic, and they said that there was only supposed to be 6. So only 6 people can only be there for it. So that was pretty much of a bad idea. Nintendo says that they're going to be releasing more for the Super Nintendo. I think that's really cool because then like the people who missed out on getting these consoles, then you have no choice and you have to buy it from Scalpers. There was one time that I saw that someone was selling it for over $700. And also during the time when it was popular during the holiday season, $1,000. That is a little bit stupid. I mean, that's a little bit overpriced. I mean, Scalpers don't really need to sell it for that much money. I mean, if you're going to buy it off of eBay, you expect that you can at least get a good deal for it. But Scalpers, they're trying to make more money from it, so they buy the limited time stuff, and they have people buying their stuff. And there is no more NES Classic Editions because they're focusing on the SNES. So I think that they should make more stores have more copies of it. I think that's what they're going to have, because certain amount of places didn't really have a lot. Like my local Target had 5, my local Walmart had 5, and the GameStop had 6. But I mean, like, you should at least have maybe like 100 copies, or at least 50. So then, like, like they said, more people can get their hands on it, and I mean, like, that would be pretty good. But Scalpers don't need to really sell it. Scalpers, what they do now is that some Scalpers or some people, they hack the NESs. So that means what it is like, instead of having 30 games, some people put more NES games on there, and they put more NES games on there. And then, like some people said, 700 games or 150, 680 games, and they put on there saying that it's hacked. That's why sometimes you see it on there a little bit more now. So now they don't just sell just the regular NESs. Scalpers are now hacking them to make them more. You see what I'm saying? So, but you don't really need to spend a lot because it's a very small console. So that's a little bit of my thoughts about Scalpers. Scalpers, not cool. No bueno. Let the people have a turn, Scalpers. Let the people try to get their hands on it. I think that would be fair. But also Nintendo's gonna try to make more, and I think that's extremely fair. So yeah, so this is it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry that I'm not in the right Nintendo Freak set, and it's super early in the morning right now to film this episode, so I'm kind of a little beat right now because I don't get my beauty What was that? What was that sound? Oh my god! Yeah, so we're going back to another. So what's going to happen next week? So next week, I am so excited. Next week, I am so happy to announce that Sonic Mania comes out next week on Tuesday, and we're gonna finally make an episode for it. So stay tuned for the next week. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And game on!